Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the SLUH tournament. This is going to be a matchup between La Salette Academy versus the St. Louis University High School Billikens, a varsity game. I'm Elijah Hall, and I'm honored to be beside Father James Carlisle today.
Thanks for having me on the broadcast today. We're a little short-staffed. Some guys had to stay back and take care of the ceremonies for Palm Sunday tomorrow, so I'm filling in on the broadcast. Happy to, privileged to. We're matched up today against
Rugby,
the current number 6 ranked team in the country, St. Thomas Aquinas Saints.
2 points for the conversion.
They jumped in the rankings really high when they beat St. Martin's, who was in the top 10, and they beat them 37-22
St. Thomas Aquinas in the blue
2 weeks ago. And that vaulted them up very high. They've started the season very strong. We saw them at the Lindenwood tournament. We didn't play against them.
Has scored will receive.
Traditionally, they're a great program.
And he will hold the official time for the game. The only stoppage in time will be for injury time. But again, the official time will be held by the sir.
We are waiting for the whistle. And we are underway. A deep kick to the right by Connor Hanlon. Taken in very quickly and fast by St. Thomas.
Ball progresses to the 35.
And the ball's out, getting it to a pause the forwards. La Salette making some good tackles, putting their bodies on the line, letting themselves get run over, but not letting them get any extra ground. A deep kick. Back past the 50, bounces around the 40, fielded by Eamon Martin. He takes it in. Breaks the tackle, breaks another tackle. Goes down finally after a good run, some good moves. Titan Esparza playing 8-man. Liam Fitzpatrick playing 9, gets it to Liam Benz at 10. A chip kick. As you do by Eamon Martin.
It is fielded by the fullback for
a good steal by Eamon Martin.
Coming back over in this direction.
And there's a penalty advantage. Offsides. Back to the spot.
A great kick out by our new starting fly half, Liam Benz, is taking over. There's been some shuffles in the back line. So the ref called penalty advantage, so he had a kick out to the wing to try to score out there. He almost got it, actually. Eamon fielded the kick, and the offload just misfired a little bit. Otherwise, we had to try down in that corner there. But because it's penalty advantage, if the kick doesn't work out, we get the penalty anyways, and he kicks for touch for our first line out of the day.
The coaching staff for La Salette today, we got Coach Vitri, who is the head coach, Father Bevan, who's assisting him, Father Carlisle, of course, who helps out with the Seaside, and Mr. Lanthony, who's also another Seaside coach. And we also have forwards coach Mr. Hayes and Mr. Woods, and Brother Jude also helps out with the backs. Titan Esparza throwing in the lineup for the Lions. First one today, Chuck Fraser jumping. Goes a bit over, but Kenny Simmons gets it. Goes to ground. Lost it with a quick ruck over. That's Liam Betts, who's way wide and deep. Tries to find the hole.
Fly half attacks the centers, and it goes into ruck position.
Getting Staffkey at 12. Gives it to Connor Hanlon at 14. Connor Hanlon usually doesn't play wing. He's usually plays 13 or 13. Yeah, 13. That's his usual position. But now, because we need an extra wing, Connor Hanlon steps in, and then we have Marcelo Fev going to 13, which he's usually a wing. So this is a new position for both of them. Also, we have a new starter on the field, Ian Whitehead. This will be his first time starting in a varsity game.
Big hard run by the lock for Aquinas.
Very good run by number 5 from St. Thomas Aquinas. It looks like these St. Thomas Aquinas players are very big, and they are trying to break through the line, trying to take advantage of La Salette's slower. Well, not slower, but they are smaller.
Keep the ball in play, but it does roll slightly to the side and ends up on the touch line. It will be La Salette's line out on the 49.
La Salette usually has to take advantage of their their quickness, because they are a smaller team. They are quicker. Most other teams are a lot bigger than they are.
Out of his possession, it unfortunately rolled.
I'm sure you can hear it on the broadcast, but it's a little bit disorienting. One of the things they do here at the SLUH tournament is they have a PA announcer who basically announces the game, and they do it so that for the education of fans, so that everyone knows what's happening. They do a very good job of it. But hopefully we're not talking over each other too much here.
It is tapped back by
stolen.
Aquinas.
Charles Bennett could get a hand on it. Throw is a bit to the right. Titus Sparsen couldn't really get it down the center quick enough.
We have a take by number 5.
Now there's some good running from St. Thomas Aquinas. Salette needs to get their line. Marcelo Fed hangs on. And Connor Hale completes the tackle.
And a great
and there's a penalty.
Great poach by Marcelo
We have
Fed.
no release.
Got in there and forced the not releasing penalty.
That will put it into the hand.
I would say so far, La Salette's they're rucking excellently their support on offense. Their
La Salette kicks for touch.
Tackling on defense is a little bit leaves a little bit to be desired.
And does make touch around the
excellent kick from Liam Bentz,
line.
picking up about 30, 40 yards there. Kicking slightly into the wind.
I didn't catch
got
the
about
number on
a
the kick,
10-mile-an-hour wind out of the north. It's a little bit cold, around 40 degrees, but the sun is out. Certainly, probably not anything that registers with the players. Us on the sideline were a little bit chilly, but all in all, a beautiful day for rugby.
And there'll be another La Salette line out, and again, it's just over their heads.
Bobbled around inside by La Salette, comes backwards. However, Aquinas does gain possession off that bounce.
Another one stolen.
Pick and go by the forwards. Again, ball comes
Jardinier tried to get the ball back.
And that will be
Let's knock forward.
Knocked forward.
First scrum of the day.
Scrum down to Aquinas.
To St. Thomas Aquinas.
You saw in that last line out, La Salette debuted something they haven't done yet before they brought the scrum half in. William Fitzpatrick, they brought him in to jump as a second jumper. That's something they're trying out. We'll see if it takes or not. But we are still technically in our preseason, even though these are real games. They're friendlies. Certainly count towards our overall record. But teams usually in the earlier part of the year get together and play these friendlies, and then everyone goes back and goes into their in-state season, which we will begin.
Clean take by Aquinas. Attacking from the centers.
Another line break for the 13.
Break by number 13 again.
That's been the issue all day.
Clean ruck.
Those hard runs.
By the lock number 4. Esparza with the tackle for La Salette.
8-man.
Pick and go by number 8.
Jumps over through a tackle from Charles Prather.
He moves the gain line.
He's trying to get through. Titan Esparza brings him down.
Titans got called there for a penalty for collapsing a maul. St. Thomas had managed to form a maul, and you can't tackle somebody.
We have a high tackle called, and that's a penalty against La Salette.
They must have broken it out of the
Number
maul.
8 for Aquinas will kick for touch.
Titan with the high tackle, and now
puts them right around the
St. Thomas Aquinas will have a chance to work their maul off the line out. The deciding factor, in fact, in their game against St. Martin's, one of the big factors was they mauled in 2 tries off of lineouts like this. So that's certainly something for La Salette to watch out for. We have a sub in.
Line.
Peter Agbaparone has joined.
Clean take. And the maul.
He's in for Ian Whitehead.
And that is right there, mauling it and taking advantage of La Salette's quicker, smaller, and they're using their big forwards to push. Their hooker breaks through the maul. And now they're crashing their forwards in. Trying to get the try. Good tackle by Peter Agbaparone.
Out it goes, and they bobble it.
Marcel Feb hangs onto the jersey. Obstruction.
Very nice.
We have obstruction.
A good grab by Marcel. They're probably causing that obstruction.
Got his hand caught in the jersey, it looks like.
Obstruction is when a offensive player runs behind. It would be the equivalent of blocking in football, but it is illegal in rugby. We cannot obstruct the flow of the tackler to the ball.
Liam Bentz with the kick for touch again.
Either intentionally or unintentionally.
Looks like it's not going to clear touch.
We do kick for touch. We don't make the touch line.
Nope.
The number 9 for Aquinas takes it cross field.
Brought down by Peter Egbat-Perone. Peter's really stepping up here.
Great counter ruck, yes.
Counter ruck.
Excellent.
Hard counter ruck and a non-release.
Peter's really stepping up here. You know, he hasn't had really any varsity minutes. He is really doing a good job making a difference on this varsity field.
Last kick for touch again.
So these games today, because the minutes limit for rugby is 90 minutes a day per player, and in this tournament we play 2 games a day, so the games are 45 minutes long, which leaves us with about 22.5-minute halves. So it's a much quicker game than usual, as you'll see on the clock.
Again, this will be Sallette's lineup. They've opted with a 7-man
Usually
lineup.
games run for about, we do 35-minute halves for the most part, 70-minute games. So these games are over in the blink of an eye. You got to take advantage of your opportunities when you get them. La Salette is currently 1 for 2 on their lineouts. Oh, but we're going to have a knock on.
That's right, it's a knock on.
That short lineout to number 1 is
It'll be a scrum.
Often effective, but tough to execute, and we see that there's a bit of a knock-on and scrum down for Aquinas off of that play.
So La Salette now only 1 for 3 on their lineouts. You always kick for touch off of penalties when you're in your own half because it moves the place where the ball is. So we see with we had 2 penalties just before this, and we went from our own 15 all the way to their 30. But if you don't actually get your line out, then it eliminates a lot of that advantage.
Attack in the centers.
As he tosses Aquinas, wins the scrum, gets it down
outside
to their back. Daniel Sullivan.
Aquinas is able to keep it in bounds.
Spence with the poach. No. Yeah.
Yes, they get it.
Liam Bentz with an excellent poach on the outside.
La Salette's defense has been super aggressive today, which has been preventing many things and making St. Thomas Aquinas, forcing St. Thomas Aquinas to make mistakes.
You see Ryland comes over here and tells Bentz it looks like they're not going to kick for touch precisely because of what we're talking about. They're only gotten 1 out of their 3 lineouts. So now they're going to keep it in.
Kennison takes it in.
We don't get the yardage we would have gotten by kicking for touch, but we keep possession.
A couple
forward passes here.
Takes it hard, but it's stopped.
Oh.
And now you have a similar call against
Toby gives up the poach.
Not releasing.
Support wasn't quite there. You got to clear that poacher, get around his arms and blow him off the ball if you don't.
Kick for touch. And he makes touch around the 25.
And it looks like the ref is being, he's calling it pretty quickly, which definitely works in our favor, although St. Thomas Aquinas is traditionally an excellent poaching team as well.
St. Thomas Aquinas also has very many accomplishments. They've won 14 out of 15 state championships in Missouri, which is no small deal. And in 2022, they finished 4th in the nation.
The lineup by La Salette.
Well, La Salette will steal the lineout.
Oh.
Charles Rather takes into contact. A good clear, but there's no one there to support.
Got an offside
call against St.
Saw Fitz got blown up right away, and the pass went. The pass fell harmlessly to the ground. The reason that happened is because the guy was offside. Normally, they shouldn't have much time to do that. La Salette discussing what to do here. Looks like they are going to kick for touch. Oh, no.
Goes with the tap and go. Oh, and the little chip. Chip and chase here for La Salette.
Oh, and there's a knock.
Draws it.
We have a knock on.
And they knock it on. Yes, indeed. And that's a scrum for La Salette.
Will be a scrum down La Salette.
This is going to be La Salette's first scrum to them. We'll see how they hold up against a bigger team.
Off of that kick.
Also off the scrum, we should see some nice set pieces. It's been one of the great contributions of Father Bevan, our resident rugby expert from England. He works a lot with these set pieces, basically designing plays to hit a home run. We'll see what La Salette can do in their first touch here. Back 10, we got a free kick
against
early foot. Don't see that call very much at all, but you have to learn the ref. Toby McQuillan. So you're not technically allowed to put your foot forward until the ball is
Number
put
9 for Aquinas,
into the
making
tunnel.
There'll be a scrum 2 to toss Aquinas.
And you'll see the ref's arm was bent, which means it's only a free kick. It's not a penalty. And off of a free kick, you can restart play basically however you want, but you cannot kick for points, and you cannot kick for touch and keep the ball
Aquinas has had some
off of a
struggles
free
in their
kick.
lineup, so they're opting with a scrum.
Father Carlisle is also a certified ref for rugby, so he knows all the rules, or at least most of them. So it's good. It's good to have someone who actually knows the rules, because I myself do not really know anything, and we're always searching through the rule books, which is not ideal while in the middle of broadcasting.
Salette with an overload.
They find the hole. Salette gets back and tackles.
Salette's defense was outnumbered.
Just like that, Aquinas
on that right
inside
side.
the 20-meter line.
Marcelo Fev takes him down by the ankles.
We're gonna need a poach here. Oh, we got a hands not rolling away.
No rolling away off the
and they
tackle.
go quickly.
Quick tap and go by Aquinas. The big number 5 takes it, barrels inside, and scores.
As a try for St. Thomas Aquinas.
On that quick tap and go.
A good hard
And
run
it is
by St. Thomas Aquinas' number 5.
St. Thomas Aquinas.
He was determined to get to try zone, and he was not going to be stopped, and was not willing to be stopped.
The conversion kick will come straight out from that point by number 8.
Yeah, so if you go back, the costly mistakes. We had a scrum. It was ours, and we had possession, and then we have the early foot turnover there. They take a scrum, and I don't know if it was by design or if it was a mistake, but we only had one defender out covering that left side of the field, and the flanker was too late getting off to get the 8-man, so they broke it all the way down into R22. And then after that, against a good team, very often it's just a matter of time. You have to start playing more aggressively on defense when you're in your own 22, which can lead to some mistakes. And then we committed a penalty there. They quick tap and take it in. And St. Thomas Aquinas is basically as advertised. They're big in the forwards. They run hard. They move the ball outside quickly, and you can see why they're currently the number 6 ranked team in the country.
Sallette's going to be kicking off.
Team is Salette. St. Thomas Aquinas.
Back to St. Thomas Aquinas.
The ball must
Connor Hanlon, a good deep kick.
With the deep kick to the right.
And Marcelo Fev breaks down for the first tackle around the 25-meter line.
Into the forward pod.
Salette needs to really get those tackles and not have any holes, because as we've been seeing, the St. Thomas Aquinas has been taking those holes very well, cutting inside.
Tough to handle.
Here comes the kick.
Aquinas decides to take some
To the touch.
That puts the ball at the 35, which will be Salette line out at the 35.
So Salette about to attempt their 4th line out of the day. Currently 1 for 3. Hopefully they can clean this up.
I'm not for certain, Father, but for a quick throw.
Yes.
How far is the ball supposed to go out before you can quick throw it?
As soon as the ball's out of bounds, you can quick throw it.
Doesn't matter how far it goes out of bounds? Or?
Yeah, as soon as it crosses the out of bounds line, you can pick it up and quick throw it. It just has to be at or behind the place where it went out, and it has to go 5 meters.
Get a long line
out. Oh, very nice.
They go with the maul off the line out. The maul is moving, and it is clean.
A good strong ball by Salette.
The maul is maintained. That collapse was off the maul. St. Thomas Aquinas recovers. It is now into the ruck situation.
A very good ball by Salette. Able to push against that stronger St. Thomas Aquinas team. They get down to the back line. Daniel Sullivan.
Great defense by Aquinas holding that line. Ball's maintained at the 45.
The back play looked good there.
Goes to the forward pod.
Benz just needed to cut it up and take the inside shoulder of that one
off the
last defender.
You have number 7 for Aquinas with the steal.
There's a steal, St. Thomas Aquinas. They take it. They get to their forwards.
Forward pod again to the big prop, number 1 for Aquinas. We have a back 10 not rolling away for La Salette.
It seems like
If you recall, that was
the serve is quick to call not rolling away. Sometimes a player cannot roll away because he is trapped under another player and just can't get out. But
and that will be an Aquinas
if he's able to get out but is not actively trying, or he's not trying at all, even if he is stuck, the ref will call it.
The other thing that initiates that call is if the poacher's coming in and trying to contest for the ball, the tackled player has to have a chance to place the ball. So if the person who tackled him is still holding on and smothering him, and the poach comes in and tries to steal the ball, they will call a not rolling away in that scenario because the tackle player didn't have a chance to place the ball.
Taken by the lock, loop around from the prop.
Very nice tackle by Braden
Number
there.
3 takes it to the ground in the ruck.
And St. Thomas Aquinas is now back on their side of the 50.
To the next forward pod, taken by number 5, the lock.
They're going back to taking it with their forwards.
By number 8.
Sebastian Cullen trying to get that counter ruck.
And Aquinas continues to move the gain line 2 or 3 meters.
And Nicholas Kellerman.
Here are now in 4th phase.
A good tackle. He just subbed in.
Big tough run by number 5. Breaks the tackle.
And Nick gets another tackle.
The 15.
Usually when it's forward
great
play.
tackle by Liam Bentz.
Oh, great defense by number 10, Liam Bentz. The big tackle.
McQuillan.
This defense is picking up.
Aquinas still in possession.
Oh.
Nick hangs on.
Run by number 1.
And gets tackled.
Again inside the 20.
McQuillan, an amazing counter ruck. And La Salette able to steal it. Titus Marza to Gerard Nienaver.
La Salette begins their counterattack.
Connor Hanlon takes it by his blocks.
The barge is successful with the block and bounce.
We've got a knock-on advantage, it looks like.
Settled down in
There's a lot going on there. If I'm correct, it is not a knock-on if you block a kick. But if it bounces off someone else and goes forward after it's blocked, then that still is a knock-on.
Cleanly taken by the 15.
So the purpose of that kick is just to move them out. And Gabe Staffke with the poach.
And we have a non-release.
Beautiful play.
And as a result, we have a penalty against Aquinas, and you have possession for La Salette.
Now the wind is blowing towards the right side of the field, so it's also one of the reasons why Liam Bentz was not able to get a kick into touch on the left side.
Looks like La Salette here before the half here is going to get one more chance to make something off of the lineouts.
44, somewhere in there.
Clock's ticking down. Like we said, it's only about 23-minute halves, so it goes quickly. I'd like to see off of this line out to get it out to the backs and see if we can cause some damage out in space. As you've seen, one of our biggest weapons is clearly Eamon Martin at 15. If we can get him into the open field, he'll probably be able to take it. They haven't been able to spring him yet. We'll see what we can do here.
Well, if Fitzpatrick jumps, he's able to grab it.
Tough ball by number 8, Mr. Esparza. Maul is set by La Salette, but going the wrong way at this point. They regain their footing here.
La Salette needs to produce the ball here. Then be careful not to turn it over. It would be a scrum to St. Thomas.
La Salette being challenged hard by the Aquinas forward pack.
It's back and forth, but it seems like St. Thomas Aquinas is getting on. Have more of the advantage. They need to produce the ball. La Salette needs to get it if they want to stop.
St. Thomas Aquinas has got their hands on the ball, and they've stolen it.
As it was a La Salette lineup. It comes down.
And who's got the ball? Well, so La Salette took the ball into the maul, and they didn't produce it out the back, which means we're going to a scrum, and the serve call is halftime.
Is the official end of the half. And that ends
score is 7-0. St. Thomas Aquinas in the lead.
0. Great.
But only one score so far for only one try and a kick for St. Thomas Aquinas so far. La Salette's defense has been pretty good, considering that St. Thomas Aquinas is number 6 in the nation. La Salette is 27th.
Yeah, I don't. It wasn't a terrible half from La Salette. So some things that were really good, I thought. For the most part, our support on offense was really good. I think we gave up maybe one not releasing penalty, but yeah, for the most part, we kept it. Now, if you look over here at the flag, the wind is going straight from right to left here, which so it means that St. Thomas Aquinas had the wind that half. And the wind, depending on the day, is often worth anywhere from 1 to 3 tries. So you have to like La Salette's chances here, having held St. Thomas Aquinas to 1 try. They look like their chances to come back with a try or 2 in the second half. And we also have Daniel Sullivan out there with this wind. I would say he's if we get a penalty inside the 40, or maybe with the wind even inside the 50, he can put that through for 3 points. So that's a real weapon to watch out for. I think in the second half, what we're looking for is La Salette to maintain their possession a bit better, and then on the defensive end to tackle better. So we saw down here the second time St. Thomas Aquinas got down, we had a few great active tackles where they drove them back and actually gained meters without possessing the ball. In La Salette, they need that. The number 8, one of their props, who's also a large fellow, they were getting ahead of steam and really blowing through us a bit. Not breaking tackles, but our tackles were, even though we're tackling, we're still giving up 5 to 10 meters per crash. I'd like to see them turn that around. And on offense, to try to unlock the backs. The mauls off of lineouts are great, but I would like to see the ball come out cleanly and see what the backs can do with it.
Right, because the backs are the quicker, slicker ones.
Yeah,
and that's our strength.
They're definitely our strength.
So we're going to take a halftime break. We'll see you at the beginning of the second half. And we are back in the second half after a quick halftime break. And Father Carl has a couple things to say, so I'm just going to let him talk.
Thank you, Eli. Yeah, a couple of things. Firstly, I would like to point out La Salette's new jerseys. So Brother Jude designed some new jerseys, and we just got them in. The new white kit, as they call it. So they're debuting those today.
All right, we're set up for the
First time we've seen those.
We'll go on the Sir's whistle.
And secondly, this Sir Donald Taylor, he's actually the treasurer of the Referee Society, and he's an old friend of ours. We've had a number of games with him at La Salette, and we've noticed that one of his distinctive things is the quick call on the poaching, and we see it right away there. La Salette using the wind, flipping the field back off the kickoff, and putting St. Thomas in their own side. And like to see La Salette using that wind to their advantage this second half.
Taken by number 17, Cooper Coates.
And now Tobias Cole with a good tackle on a very big man. It does look like they are exploiting their
by the big lock, Carson Graff
their forwards again, as their strength is. They do have big forwards.
Number 2, Nathan Dreiling with the run, trying to stay in bounds.
For example, their hooker is probably the same size as one of our biggest guys.
great defensive effort with that.
And the hooker is usually kind of small, so they do have some very
moving
big.
that gain line pretty successfully for Aquinas.
Yeah, you see St. Thomas Aquinas forwards there just kind of rolling us up, but the back stiffened up. Connor out on the wing. Managed to get the foot out of bounds before he threw the pass back. So La Salette comes in here. 2 for 4 on our lineouts, 50%. You'd like to see something more about like around 85 or 90%. We'll see what they can do here.
Titus Sarza going to throw it in again. Charles Prather, and it goes over the top.
Long ball knock through.
Nicholas Columbus in good hands to retrieve the ball. Liam Betts breaking a couple tackles, trying to gain some yards.
Taken into contact again by number 10, Liam Betts.
And La Salette's rucking over a long ruck over.
A very good support there by Nick Kellerman.
Ruck here.
You'll see St. Thomas Aquinas on every tackle. They're every bit as good as us at the poaching.
The box is made.
Oh, that's
beautiful
a beautiful
box
kick.
kick.
Great kick. Fielded clean by number 20, Gavin
Way
Middendorf.
deep.
So you hear the announcer talking about box kicks. That means that
Get some help in the ruck by number 4.
the scrum
for
half
St. Thomas Aquinas.
takes the
That's
punt from the
Jake
back of the
Erskine with
ruck.
a hard rucking effort. Again, back
That way you
forward
eliminate
for Aquinas.
that extra pass to the fly
Quick way
half,
inside.
and you also can kick from further up the field instead of having to
Second
pass it
forward
back
hog
10 meters.
passes it off to number 10, Mike Dorfler.
And now St. Thomas Aquinas is back to crash with their forwards. Lossless defense, holding them off pretty well.
Dorfler again takes the ball.
Now they get out to their backs. Liam Betts with the tackle.
Number 6, Jake Shealy goes down in the ruck in the tackle.
And they're back to their forwards, which is their bread and butter.
Goes to number 17, Cooper.
Looks like
Coates
Lossless trying to get a
into
poach.
Into the ruck.
No, they don't.
What's the penalty here?
Diving
Their
in.
Hands in the ruck by
Hands in the
Lafayette,
ruck.
and they are penalized for that infraction.
I'm not sure if you can hear the PA announcer. I'm guessing that you can. But we have the
Max
hands in the
kicks
ruck
for
there.
touch, and doesn't quite make the touch line, but there's a great tackle at the other end.
Very good ruck support by Charles Prather, and here goes Eamon.
Great
And
kick
Martin
off the
plowing
back
his way through.
by La Salette, didn't catch the number.
Oh, luckily we have a penalty here of
There is
offsides
an
because
offside
Eamon
here
was getting that ball
against
poached.
Aquinas, and it will be a penalty.
There has been a lot of offsides
Round
calls
for
on St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, that's very often with the better teams.
Williams
That's
and his team.
it's actually a conscious decision where they're basically going to defend super aggressively and make the ref call it. So they know they're going to get
touch
dinged a couple
around
times,
the
but they're also going to
45
have an extra
meter
step
line,
almost the entire
where
day,
will be a
making it
La
very
Salette
difficult
lineup.
for the offense to get anything going. All right, La Salette comes in here to their 6th line out of the day. They've won 3, if we can call that last one a win. Technically, we got the ball, but it wasn't clean at all. I'd like to see a clean ball produced from a line out here. It's certainly one of the things as we get into the season that the coaching staff is going to look to clean up. If you have a good line out, you basically can win it every time.
Beautiful throw by Mr. Esparza.
William
taken by
Fitzpatrick
number
jumping.
9, William
And a
Fitzpatrick.
good fake by Charles Prather. Exploiting that fast fake. Liam Betts. A nice
William
stiff arch
takes
one
it
and
back
puts one
position
down.
From his fly half spot.
Not rolling away. Yeah, so you see there very clearly the St. Thomas Aquinas
Not
player came in
rolling
for the
away.
poach while his player was still lying on Liam Bentz. And that is something that the
gives
ref's
the
not going to
penalty,
let that
and
go.
the kick back to
Good call,
Liam,
good call.
and Liam
But he can't get the
Not
ball
quite
to touch.
Fails
fielded
to
by
reach touch, but
number
we
20, Gavin
have good
Middendorf,
chase.
who counterattacks
Brave
on
ball
the
hangs
side.
on to it.
He's going to call. Ball was straight back. Could have maybe had a
Number
knock
10
on there.
brings it back in. That's Mike Dorfler.
Oh, what's he
They have a
calling?
penalty against La Salette here, and that'll be a back 10. That's an offside position.
Not a huge fan of that call. I thought Gabe had the poach. Not sure why Liam didn't get the ball to touch there, unless he was
So we're pointing
trying
at the
to
mark.
put it up high and create some gaff in the backfield, maybe a knock on.
Time
But
off.
the St. Thomas Aquinas player, number 20, he did a really good job of evading the 2 tacklers who were there and bringing it back up the
Max
sideline.
the kick for touch.
Back to the offsides penalty. Thomas Aquinas kicks
This
for
time
touch.
Max makes that touch line, and it will be an Aquinas line out.
And watch the Aquinas line
at
out.
the
They're
46.
I would say they're
47.
quite a bit better than us, and you'll see that it's well, hopefully La Salette steals it, but you'll see, I think, that their line out is pretty secure.
for the St. Thomas Aquinas coaching staff. Head coach and forwards coach Tim Kloopers. Tim played over 20 years of rugby for Kansas City Blues, who we have played the Junior Blues in the Lindenwood tournament, and remember that when that Gerard Nienamer held up the ball in the try zone at the very end of the game, which was a win-or-lose situation. Gerard was able to hang on to it, and we won that one. There's also Jim Tate, assistant coach. Paul Tripp, assistant coach. Another assistant coach, Brian Landers. The JV head coach is Chris Goza. Assistant JV coach, Robert Patrick. Assistant JV coach, Patrick Cross. And as another assistant coach, Patrick Cross. Sorry, that's the same person. Thomas Deathridge is another assistant coach. He's also a Saints alumni for the team.
We have a significant substitution happening here. It looks like St. Thomas Aquinas number 10 is going off. That's the fly half, something akin to the quarterback of the team. To change out your fly half is usually something that affects a team quite a bit. So we'll see if there's any fallout from that. Although you have to think that a quality program like St. Thomas Aquinas has other guys they can plug in.
Strong ball. LaSalette brings it down, though. Now they're spreading. There's a big gap there. The far end of the field. Daniel Sullivan's able to get the tackle, and Marcel Beck tackles it into touch.
So you'll notice LaSalette, it looks like maybe that the ball's getting out against them, when in fact that's a strategic decision. You'll notice the LaSalette backs, they'll turn and they'll try to shepherd or to maybe herd the ball out to the wing. They give the pass and they take away the run up the middle. They give the pass out and they give that angle run out towards the sideline. And the idea is that the ball keeps going out, and then there's one guy out there who's isolated, and our defenders all catch up and take care of him, which is exactly what happened there. We were able to take him out of bounds. It looked good for St. Thomas, and then suddenly the sideline showed up, and now it's our ball.
We win the line out. Charles Fither.
Oh, here we go. We got some backline movement.
Daniel Sullivan. Switch pass. Eamon Martin.
Very well defended by St. Thomas Aquinas.
Number 15.
Ralataw playing prop. Takes it down.
And we got a penalty here. Advantage to LaSalette.
For LaSalette. Bring in the counterattack with a little kick. Kick to position. Oh, it's taken by number 11.
So the only reason they make that kick is because they have a penalty advantage. Otherwise, you'd never take that. So you do a risky play. See if it pays off. If it doesn't, we're right back here.
I believe it was a failure to
It was really close. Daniel Sullivan almost had that one.
On the kicker. Again,
decently placed kick.
Cannot do a shoulder charge.
Also good position for the 11 for St. Thomas Aquinas. He's in a good position to receive that kick.
Safety law, actually.
LaSalette with the ball right at the 50. We'll see where the ref puts the mark.
With that kick to touch with 13:50 to go, we have Mr. Esparza throwing the ball again for LaSalette. LaSalette again opting with the 7-man line.
Another line out.
So we've put together three straight successful lineouts here and make it 4.
Thrown and tap.
Prather probably needed to get that ball out, but he plays it safe, keeps it in, keeps possession. And Bentz knocks it on. We got an advantage.
A tough knock by LaSalette. As we make the linkage with the backs, that'll be a scrum down to St. Thomas Aquinas. That's on the 42-meter line.
We also have some thank yous to say to the families of St. Louis for their hospitality and letting the rugby team sleep in Queen of the Holy Rosary Academy School building. And also for the dinner and the breakfast this morning. We want to thank the Lillises, the Hanlons, and the Kellermans.
So if you remember, this is the same scenario when they scored their first try. Scrum almost center field, and they took it weak side with their 8-man. So Peter A. will have to get off this very quickly if they come weak side. There it comes. They're trying to
Peter Agbat.
Good. Bring him back in. Excellent.
Max Dorfler picks it up for a run.
Not releasing.
Again, non-release on the tackle.
So you saw Gabe get the poach there, but he never released the tackled player. He needs to have a chance, so he just has to show his hands, and then he can come back in for the poach.
He makes touch, and St. Thomas Aquinas.
It wasn't a terrible play.
The 25.
But the ref was right there, and he called it. Called it by the book. And now St. Thomas Aquinas will certainly look to maul, which is one of their strengths from this relatively close line-out position. Sallette's looking at about the stadium clock gives us 12 minutes, down 7. Need to score here to tie the game.
And it's over. Picked up by Ryland Ta.
The ball turned over by St. Thomas Aquinas.
As a last led ball, no, Aquinas does get it back off the ground.
Lost by Ryland in the ruck.
Takes it in hard. That's Joseph Best.
That's a mistake that can't happen. It's the little things that you need to have perfect, or else things like this will happen.
They're all offsides out here.
A little bit of underneath
an avalanche effect.
The number 13 in the centers.
And we got a knock on from St. Thomas Aquinas right at the goal line. Salette picks it up.
In the tackle, and Salette has the opportunity to kick for some breathing room.
As you hear the PA announcer saying, Salette will most likely kick.
But Liam takes it off the post.
He's not able to.
Into a rock.
A good clear there by Nicholas Kellerman.
Looks like we're going to go with that box kick again.
Very well kicked.
Box is successful.
Knocked on.
Ooh.
Oh, he calls it backwards.
Now here we have number 20 from St. Thomas Aquinas running it in. Salette now back to their defensive line.
Well, they picked up about 30 meters there. Moved them away from our try zone. But these forwards are still getting good meters with every crash.
Number 5, Carson Kraft, with a good, tough run.
They're making about at least 4 or 5 meters per crash, except in that one where they got minus 2 or 3.
Getting a bit
good
of
tackle
there.
by Liam.
Maintain possession here.
Now, when you have bigger guys on the other team tackles, where you have 2 people tackling at the same time.
Beautiful open field tackle. Oh, and we're gonna have another back 10 for him throwing the ball unsportsmanlike.
20-meter play right there.
In there, and Liam takes it.
Liam has been good and aggressive, but I would like to see
back 10 again.
Him be a bit more decisive with his passing.
Coming in from the side of that ruck, you must come in through the gate.
Free 30 meters right there in the past 10 seconds.
Visible doorway.
And Liam will try to kick the touch.
Of the ruck.
This is certainly a pivotal moment in the game for Salette. With this kick, he could move us down inside their 22.
Just in front.
Not the best of kicks, but he does make touch.
To a Salette lineout with 9:28 to go.
And we are moving into the range of Daniel Sullivan's kicking. A penalty would allow us to win with a try. Penalty kick. We'll see how the coaches and the captain want to play this here. And again, we're going to look to get it out to our backs.
Good tap again to number 4. A little bit of cleanup.
Good hands by Liam, picking up the ball off the bounce.
Takes it up and back into contact.
Salette plays some backs. Charles Prather.
Will Fitzpatrick passes the ball off. We will have an infraction here, and the sir will have a conversation.
That might even be a card.
Charles Prather has been really good in the back line.
Yeah, you saw the penalty there. So when you tackle somebody, you can't lift their hips or their legs above their head. And you saw Prather made a bit of a jumping movement to try to get past the guy, and his tackle swung his hips into the air.
There was a dump tackle, which means the player is.
And his head came down his head and his back. Big safety concern.
That is a dangerous
play. That's a yellow card. And he will be, Salette will be up a man for the rest of the game.
13.
In rugby, it's less of an advantage as in, say, hockey. But depending on where the position is, it can certainly, that was their 13 who went off. So that opens up the backline defense. They're going to have to spread themselves out a little bit more there. So certainly gives Salette an advantage if they're able to attack that hole now. And it looks like Prather's okay. Nick Kellerman with the crash. Gonna get the support there. It's gonna get poached. Ryland's right
Last
there.
with the tuck. Can go.
Liam Betts passes it out to Gabe Stafke, who gets into Marcel Lefebvre, finds the hole, breaks through.
Running by number 13.
Salette getting in the
Very
ruck.
good support.
Marcel Lefebvre.
And Ryland loses the ball off the tackle.
And Aquinas comes out with the ball. Can he get it to ground?
And a good tackle there by
Release the tackle.
Liam Betts. And Tobias Aquilin also helped me drag back.
And he is to ground.
Charles Prather pulls another one down.
If La Salette does end up losing this game, that turnover will haunt them. That was the one right there.
Distribution, they have a little bit of room on the outside.
Good
Lost
breakdown
Rough pass
by
ends up
Liam
in the hands
Betts.
of La Salette. La Salette again now on the counter.
Peter
That's
Egbat
Peter.
Perone.
Good.
Number 20. We have new number 20 in.
And not releasing.
Sorry. Number 20, that was Peter Agubaroni
Smart play by La Salette to not tackle until he'd gone 10 meters.
for La Salette. Aquinas ball now in the ruck.
Peter ran away from his support a little bit there. Oh, and we have another poach.
Non-releasing.
Marcel Lefebvre. Very good job.
Good defense. La Salette has been
I'll say
losing.
La Salette, yeah, La Salette is winning the turnover battle because, like we said, this ref calls the not releasing nice and quickly, and that's one of La Salette's strengths. And they've stayed in this game the whole time because of that. St. Thomas Aquinas hasn't really been able to get too much continuity of possession because anytime he gets out on the open field, we're pretty quick to the ball. And so we have another chance here with this kick. He could certainly get it to their 22 from here. We got Henry Dittman coming in for Charles Prather. He's a little banged up after that dump tackle.
In the game.
We'll get Henry Dittman, a junior, gets his chance.
Up for the tap. Hard run by number 6.
Gerard Nienaber. A good run. That'll get back out to the backs. Here's Gabriel Stafke.
Little show and take.
Good little run there. And a good ruck over by La Salette's backs.
Good rucking by the backs. All right, Ryland, hang on to the ball. Last time you lost it. Good.
Number 3, Ryland Top, takes it into contact.
Much better.
William Fitzpatrick
Get it
to
out.
Liam Betts.
Little
A chip
and
kick.
go.
Gabriel Stafke. He's running on it.
What do we got here?
You're going to get a penalty for a shoulder barge against the kicker. By
William
the
Fitzpatrick.
They are not
On
back
the other
down,
side of the
and
field.
Here goes Fitz.
tap and go.
A good run
Gives
there.
some space on the outside to Aquinas.
Daniel
We got a
Sullivan.
knock on.
Looks
Drops
like there
it.
was a knock on.
It's knocked
by
forward.
Salette on the 2-meter line. That will make it an Aquinas scrum.
That's just one of those things
That's
that
okay. They're going to have to clear this kick into the wind. It'll give Eamon some room
We
to
have under
run.
5 minutes left in the match. Aquinas scrum at the 5-meter line.
Very well taken there by Fitz. In rugby, we usually say don't run, east to west, try not to drift, but none of those guys out on the side could tackle him because they weren't back 10. And so he was able to get around him, and then when someone was able to finally take him, he was able to pass it off, and we had the overload. Because Sullivan wasn't able to corral it. He had it pinned up on his shoulder. Oh, if he had been able to keep his hands on that and fall in, he'd have scored.
Sir, take some time to make sure things in the scrum are settled.
Well, that's right where they want to be here.
And we're back into play.
St. Thomas kicking out of their own try zone. Any sort of penalty
Again, the
here,
scrum is probably the most complex
we'll be able to attack.
skill set in the game of rugby, and also one of the more dangerous. So the Sirs will keep close eye.
This is the third
both
scrum for St.
structure
Thomas Aquinas. They've won their first
and
2.
its play.
La Salette's only had 1, and they committed the penalty on it.
Clean take by Aquinas. Ball comes back.
8-man pick.
No, they don't kick.
By Max. Max takes it
That's
up.
probably smart by them.
Good 10
They
meters
got to
gain
use
there
their
for Aquinas.
size.
They're going to pick and go with the forward pod for a little bit here.
All right, La Salette can play some defense. Oh, beautiful.
Survives
Second
McQuillan.
Phase.
He got
Ball
knocked over
off
there,
the
but
block.
he's going to get Liam Betts. Takes it down the field.
Liam takes it
Offload.
in contact with a
But it's
pop-up
stolen.
is taken by an Aquinas player.
I think the
Good
smart
try
thing.
to
Aquinas
offload,
gets the ball back
but in open play, you can
inside
catch
the
that.
20.
Here comes the kick. And let's see what Eamon can do.
Kick for space. It does bounce, and so it will be a line out.
And they do a quick throw.
Structured line out.
Eamon Martin
The sidelines.
cuts back
So
inside. Breaks the
So
tackle.
we have The fullback coming into play, that's number 15, Eamon Martin.
Love the quick line out there.
A nice quick play with
way
the
out.
line out.
Daniel Sloan.
Support.
Connor Hanlon. Connor Hanlon tries in. Gets tackled.
Spot is marked.
Not releasing. Good.
10 against.
Tense moments here as we wind down under 3 minutes.
Last let tap and go.
Here it comes. Puts it way out to Marcel.
The clock ticks away towards
Gabe Staffke.
Number 12, Gabe Staffke takes it into contact.
Connor Hanlon chip kick.
The kick is touched. That's Connor Hanlon with a little chip.
Gerard Nienaber, a good hit, brings them down. Both teams are fighting extremely aggressively now.
And they are successful to get it into the second phase.
Ocelet's defense is pressing here. Don't commit a penalty.
All right, that'll be a back 10 against La Salette coming in from the side.
No, it won't. Oh. The ref had it the wrong way. All right. So Thomas Aquinas going to try to come to...
We've got 1:30 left.
Going to try to come to touch here and win a line out.
And the SLUH says there's 1 minute left on that yellow.
La Salette's running out of time.
Max Orford
It's in the touch.
And it will be in Aquinas.
So if Aquinas wins this line out, they can effectively seal the game.
Just about a minute to go.
They have to win a couple phases.
On their own 45.
La Salette will need to force the penalty.
We have a substitution. Number 18, Zach Elner, is leaving the field. Throw in will be by number 16, Lou Mullen.
That was not straight.
That throw was not straight, caught with the outside arm rather than the inside arm, and as a result,
La Salette's going to get one last possession here.
Or
they have a chance.
Take a scrum. They're going to take a scrum, and they'll be able to run a set piece off it.
Aquinas is questioning whether their yellow card is over. It is a scrum down for La Salette.
And we'll see what La Salette can cook up here. A last ditch. So the time is the refs. It's on the ref's watch. It's similar to soccer. And then he can add extra time on for injuries and things like that. And then play doesn't end when the clock ends. Play ends at the next dead ball after the time has run out. So as long as La Salette keeps this alive, the game will not end.
La Salette clean put in.
La Salette wins the scrum.
Here it comes.
Here's their chance.
Ball's out.
Hayden Martin drops it. Gabe Stacker recovers it. They call a knock on.
Yellow is back in, so you now have 15 aside. SLUH is in injury time at this point. We have a knock on. That will be Aquinas' scrum.
Thought maybe he'd let that go as falling backwards like he did for Thomas Aquinas on this kick over here on the left side, but he did call it.
How much time, but it should be pretty close.
This might be the last play.
That's one of those stressful mistakes that just accidents that happen. There's like little time left. You're down by trying to kick, try to get that there. There's little mistakes that big things happen off of those. An avalanche effect.
Oh, we might have poached.
On an island, but number 9 comes in hard.
They call it.
Number 7.
La Salette's still alive.
But non-releasing as he was isolated.
And he's killing the game here.
La Salette's ball. La Salette will have to keep this in the field of play here, I think.
No, they won't. You can't end the game on a penalty.
Here they tap and go. Max takes
Eamon Martin.
Tap and go. That goes to number 15, the fullback, Eamon Martin.
So going to keep possession. And the next dead ball, the game will probably end. Nick Kellerman loses it forward.
You have a knock on there off the big tackle. Big tackle by number 6, Jake Sheely.
And it's looking here. St. Thomas Aquinas looking to try and score again before the time is out.
20. Recovery by the number 9 for Aquinas to keep that in play.
We're going back to something here. Knock on.
We have a knock on. We're going back to knock on, so it will be Aquinas' scrum here at the 25. Time on the clock. Or sorry, on the watch of the SLUH.
Another St. Thomas Aquinas scrum here.
I would have to say, if the story of this game is really untimely turnovers. We had Ryland's knock-on down here. You had Eamon's knock-on back here. And then right there, Nick Kellerman, we got possession for one last ditch effort, and we lose it forward again. And then also the try that we did create that we couldn't manage to get touchdown. We got another knock-on. That's 4 knock-ons right there that could really are the difference in the game. And besides that, La Salette's, I think their defense has been pretty good for the most part. Their poaching has been exceptional. Their offense hasn't been bad when we've kept our hands on the ball, but when you knock it forward, it's tough to keep any continuity.
From by Aquinas.
Now this is the first time Aquinas uses their backs.
That's a forward pass.
Oh, there's a forward pass.
Oh, and he calls
the
game.
That will be the end of the game. But what a great match for both teams. Let's give these kids a hand. That was tremendously well played. Great defensive and offensive battle.
That was a very good match. Only one try scored just the entire match. Just hard battling back and forth. That's the hardest thing to do. It takes perseverance.
Father Ryan versus Marquette, our Jesuit brethren from Wisconsin. And so we'll be having that up in several minutes. Stick with us here at St. Louis University High School All-Catholic Tournament.
All right, well, I think
Don't forget the teams. There is snacks available at the snack table. Please take advantage and get some calories in after that tough game. We'll be back with game and prayer momentarily.
So we get a little silence to talk for a second. Anyone who's watching this, if you do want to let us know in the comments what the situation is with the PA announcer. I don't know if you can hear everything he's saying or nothing. It's definitely a challenge, Eli, to broadcast with somebody talking over you and saying kind of the same thing. But he's quite helpful for all of the fans here. But yeah, as we were saying, great, good showing for La Salette. Certainly not the result that we wanted, and there's a lot of film there for the coaches to look at. So the first thing I would say is just the reminder. So that's a 45-minute game, which is basically about 2/3 of a normal game length. So we would normally still be playing. And I think, if we did play a full game, it'd probably be more of the same. But you like to think that La Salette would be able to capitalize on some of their opportunities. But even so, excellent showing. That's probably the best team that we're going to play all year, besides the teams that we play at Midwest. So St. Thomas Aquinas is certainly better than anyone in Illinois last year. You never know what you're going to get this year. But, it was a great test. You saw some guys in new positions today. Some of that is injury-related. We're missing from the lineup Sebastian Cook, Wyatt Herman, Sam Betts, and then Lewis Dittman got dinged up the other day in practice, so he sat out too. But it's really one of our strengths is that we have about 3 to 4, quote-unquote extra guys in the back that we can just plug in and go. So today, Liam was playing, Bentz was playing for the first time at 10 at the varsity level. I thought he did a pretty good job. Connor Hanlon, first time at wing at the varsity level. And then, Marcel and Gabe both moving into center positions where they have not been playing either. So, all told, those guys get some reps in together and they, get their set pieces squared away. They could certainly do some damage. Any thoughts from you, Eli?
Well, honestly, not really.
No.
All I can say is that it was a good, hard-fought match. La Salette's defense was pretty good, but then their offense does the small little things that add up at the very end.
Yeah, when you're at the high levels, when you're playing good teams, and when you yourself are a good team, the game hinges on 2 or 3 moments, things you got to be able to capitalize on. One other thing I would point out is, La Salette's lineouts. They had to go away from those a bit. You saw at the end they were taking taps from penalties instead of kicking for yardage because they didn't quite trust their lineout. So that's another thing, as the season goes on, for them to shore up because, if you can kick for touch, 20, 30 yards every time you have a penalty, that moves field position, and then once your lineouts become automatic, it's like you just get the ball, automatically 40 yards up the field. That can really be very difficult. So if you can clean that up and couple that with La Salette's poaching ability, that could just be devastating for teams to, to defend. They finally get the ball, get out in some space, but they get tackled, boom, the poach, and now they got to backtrack, 20, 30, 40 yards. That's a real weapon that La Salette will certainly look to develop. Well, thanks for having me on, Eli.
Thank you.
The crew here's got to pack up all the technology and move over to the other field, and we're actually going to be right back with you in a little bit at 12:20 for La Salette's JV match against SLUH. So we'll see you then.
See you then.